Well, welcome everyone. My name is Carol Larson and I am the Senior Associate Registrar here at CSU Pueblo. And please remember that as we go through this today, we will be launching different parts of Banner at different times. And so hopefully you have already found that we have resources available to you. All right, so today we're going to look at three different modules in the faculty advising part of Banner. And Brianna's going to kind of monitor some questions in the chat for us. So as we're going along, if you think of some questions you want to put in there, go ahead and just write in the chat. And then after each module, we'll stop and kind of go over those questions. And hopefully, if I don't have answers, some of the Banner team from either Fort Collins or Brianna may have all those answers for us. Let's see. So registration will begin for fall 21 and forward in Banner. And so what you need to remember is that as we're working in advising, you will have two places. So summer will be in AIS and fall will be in Banner. So you can't just mark it in one place. If you have a student that wants to register for both, you would need to go to both places to mark them as advised. The other thing that you will want to know is as you're working in both systems for our continuing students, everything will pretty much look the same, although some of the history may not have come over yet for our continuing students. But for our new students, one of the new features that we have that is through the application is a preferred name. So you may see that a student in AIS later or in Banner has two different names. We're going to allow students in Banner to have a preferred name, which we don't have in AIS. So if you see anything unusual about a name, please just know that we are using preferred name in Banner, and there will be other applications on campus that will be able to benefit from that and use that preferred first name also. Okay, so I think I'm going to share my screen here now, and we will get started with the demonstration. So one of the things you need to know is it is not live yet in Pause, but you will log into your Pause, and from Pause there will be a tab in there that will take you to self-service Banner. So today I'm working in a pre-prod mode, and so I may have to log in and out a couple of times, but our single sign-on will hopefully be working, and you should not have to be logging in and out. Once you're in Pause, you should be able to go in and stay in that module. So once you log in, it's going to take you to this landing page. And here there's some links that will take you to different places for different things. The first module that we're going to look at is how to mark a student advised. So for those of you that have an advising role, you are able to mark students as advised. And one thing that's different in Banner is any advisor can mark any student, regardless of if you are marked as their advisor or not. So you can mark a student as advised. So in that, you would come here and click on this, and I want to show you that there is another navigation tool that we'll be using in self-service Banner. So this little square up here at the top in the left, you click on it, and it will open up and show you, well, should show you another navigation screen. It might have timed out for us here, but I'll go back to this page and we will click on Advising Student Profile. So I am going to have to log in and out, like I said. So once you get to that page and you go here to your advising profile page, you're going to, first thing you would want to do is go to semester. It's already going to fill in fall of 21 for us. And we have different ways that we can search for our students. We can do it by email or by name, or if I'm an advisor and I know this student is in my list, I can click on View My Advising Listing. And when I click that as an advisor, it should bring up all the students that are assigned to me. And so this information was brought over from AIS. So when you go in here, it should be people that you previously have seen or advised. And when you come into this screen, you'll see a list here of your students. And the first one that you see here, you notice there's a little lock here, and that is a confidential lock. So this is a student that has a do not release. So in AIS, we call that a do not release. And it's a student who doesn't want their information shared with anyone on campus. So they don't want to be in a list. They don't want to be part of commencement, part of a dean's list that's public information. So when you see a lock there, that means that the student's information should not be shared with other people. Over here in this box, we see the advisor holds. So this is the only student I have right now that still has a hold left. My other ones, it looks like their advising holds have been lifted. So I don't have to worry as much about them, but I can click on them. And when I click on them, it brings up the student profile page for your student. And here, I'm going to see that they did indeed register for classes. Here are the classes that they've registered for. And it tells me how many hours they're in. If they're on a wait list, it would not appear here, so you wouldn't know that they've tried to get on a wait list for something else. Again, this is the biographical information. Please remember that for students that are in AIS, it may not be totally up to date because we are in two systems. For our new students, it should have everything that we have on the student. So again, here it tells me that her information is confidential. And if I click on curriculum and courses, it just shows all of these courses that she's registered for. It also shows me here that she's going to be BA in psychology. And if I click on this tab over here, again, it shows me the courses that she registered for. And if she had a history of grades and things, I could see those here. When I click on prior education and testing, this is going to show us the high school information. It also would show us if she had any test data here. So if I needed to know what her test scores were like so that I could put her in a course, that information would show here. For this student, if you click on her registration notices, it says she's in good standing, she can register. It also says something about a time ticket. So not only does a student have to be marked as advised, they also have to have a time. And so this is the same as it was in AIS. When a student is a senior, they have priority over other students to register first. So that's what the time ticket indicates here. And over here on holds, this is where it would display if she had other holds, if there was a financial hold, and there would be a phone number that she could call and get that taken care of so that she's able to register for class. So the key thing is not only are you going to mark them as advised, but you're also going to tell them if they have other things that may be holding them back. So if the time ticket says this date, even though you've marked them off as advised, if the date isn't coinciding, then they wouldn't be able to register until that date. Okay, so I'm going to go back and see if it'll let me. Oh, here's the navigation screen again. It's showing up. So if I want to go back to my advising list, I can click back here. I can search again on my advisees list. So again, these students all have some information that I want to share with you, so I put them in here. You'll see I put preferred first name so that you knew that this student actually has their preferred name, so it may not be their legal name. On this one, consent for release, when I click on her, it shows that she has some holds here. And these are actually pseudo holds. We in Banner don't have a place to store if they have something on a parent or a guardian that we're allowed to release information to. So we will put these in here, but they're not actually stopping the student from registration. It's just telling you that this person is able to know about this information, academic information on the student. So they would have to tell you that they're the father and his name's Joseph. And in addition, we will be putting a PIN number in here. So there'll be a 5-digit PIN number that they would need to release to you so that you can tell them the information they're wanting to know about their student. All right, I'm going to go back to my list here so we can search by name so you can see how that functions. So if I decided I wanted to search by name instead of my advisee list, this is a student that can't get a hold of their advisor and they want me to mark them off. So if I type in their name or their last name, it starts to search and they'll start to bring up people. So then I can select on who I want and then just select on that student. It brings them down here. And down below, I just click on View on Profile, and then it'll bring that student up for me again. And then I can mark them off as advised. This one's already been marked off, but I'm going to go back to my other list to show you how to mark them off. Okay. So I'm coming back to my student that I know needs to have his hold lifted. So I'm going over here, and again, I can look at their information in here to see what they have. If I'm advising them, this student actually does have some testing information. So maybe this will help me in my advising. For continuing students, you can always look in AIS again. You may want to be in both systems. Please remember that. And then on the hold. So it tells me he has an advising hold. And when I click on this, and I click this button right here, all I do right now is click release, and then that releases the advising hold. It's going to ask me if I want to put a message in here. I can. I don't have to because I know many of you use Starfish for your notes, but if you wanted to put a message in here that you on 216, and I'll hit OK. And then you'll see that the hold was released. And you also see that now there's a note on the student. So if I click on the note and it says who released it and that there's a comment, and then you can look at the comment. So this is, that's as simple, it's very simple to release those holds. And again, it doesn't have to be a student in your advising profile. You can find somebody that comes into your office and needs help, and you can mark them off by searching for their name.